Today's going to be one of our saddest videos we've ever made, and the reason is because we're actually going to someplace in Cambodia that has one of the worst tragedies in human history. But we wanted to make sure we had an opportunity to talk about it, visit, and take you along with us. In the center of Phnom Penh is a prison that was used by Pol Pot during his time with the Khmer Rouge. So we're going to go through this and talk about why this event was such a tragedy. We're going to go through and talk about this event.
And we're going to share it with you as we experience it ourselves.
In order to get into the museum, it costs $10 per person, and we rented the audio devices for $10 for the pair. So it was a total of $30 for the two of us to get in, and well worth the charge if you ask us. This is the entrance ticket, and this is the audio pass. Scan. We're scanning here. Green light shows up.
So you start from number 1.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
They gave us a brochure. Inside there's a map, and it takes you along to every point, and the audio coincides with each number along the way.
So you're going to start with number 1 and continue on following the audio on the headsets.
And number 1 is Introduction to a Nightmare. Let's get started.
From the very beginning, they're already warning us that this is a very sad event. As we're listening to the audio, they kind of explain that you got to be respectful and quiet, and so we're going to try and do that. But this is very hard, and apparently this affected every single family in Cambodia. So this isn't just limited to a couple people. This affects everybody here. Behind us is Building A. We're going to have to give everybody a preemptive forewarning. At this point, we haven't shown anything graphic or disturbing, but we've been warned on the audio that at this moment, from here on, you might be exposed to something that you don't want to see. We will have chapters if you wanted to skip ahead. If you're not interested in seeing the horrors that happened here, we appreciate your attention thus far, and you can choose which ones you want to watch. This prison was called S21. Before it was a prison used by the Khmer Rouge, it was actually a school. And one of the horrific things that was done is they turned the playground into instruments of torture. that was very educational and very tough to walk through, to say the least. We do understand now why a lot of people say that it is a must-do tourist stop when you're here in Phnom Penh. Heartbreaking and emotional, very sad. It also helps us understand the Cambodian culture so much better. So we really appreciate having the opportunity to come and learn about everything that happened here, and hopefully a lot of other people come and learn and share their experiences.
And this didn't happen a long time ago. This was quite recent, in the 70s. Between 1975 and 1979, these atrocities were happening. When I was growing up, having been in that time frame growing up, I had no idea what these people were dealing with and the nightmare they were living. And it just really brings to light how awful people can be when they're left to do what they think should be done in the name of following their personal beliefs.
What we're going to do now is, as part of the tour here, they talked about the next step that the prisoners were put through, which is an execution field.
And it's now called Memorial Field.
So we're going to go there and show you that next.
As you exit, there's a place to put your headsets for the next people to use.
Now we are at the Genocidal Center. So we're going to go and see how much it costs and go take a look. You pay $3 per person, so it's a total of $6 for the two of us. They do have guides that are available. Unfortunately, the ones that are available are all busy right now, so we're not able to get one. For now, we're just going to go in and look around. He says that there's a sign to the right that we can look at, and they'll give us some guidance. What we're doing is we're following the signs that are posted throughout and trying to read along to figure out what was going on. And it's pretty scary. It's just sad. Minus the sounds of the construction equipment in the distance. We hear the birds, the wind. It's quite peaceful here, but sad at the same time. We're following the outer trail that encircles the entire property.
As we walk along, we notice there are benches where you can sit down and have a moment just to remember and think about, process whatever you need to do as you're experiencing this place where so much horror took place.
We're also noticing how small this area actually is. And as it turns out, when the guards were murdering the victims here, they wanted to keep them quiet. So they did everything they could to do it quietly and keep the prisoners in the dark about what was going on.
And they said it was always conducted at nighttime so that the people that were in this area wouldn't know. We can't understand what happened here. We can't grasp it. We can't even fathom what these people lived through. Every one of these holes where water is filling it up is another mass grave that's been unearthed, where they have found skulls and bones. Just the remains of so many people. It's heartbreaking.
That tree that we just saw was used to hand off a loudspeaker to make noise that would be louder than the victims that were moaning. As it turns out, that's the kind of tree that would latch onto a palm tree and grow around the palm tree, eventually killing it. irony right there. We don't know a whole lot of history about everything that happened here, but
We're learning.
We're learning along the way. And we did see a sign that said that there was a
section of this area that was a cemetery or gravesite for Chinese before 1975, so prior to the mass killings that happened.
We really have learned a lot in our adventures today. It was extremely sad, and our heart really goes out to the Cambodian people for their many losses and everything that they went through. So, yeah, there's really not much else to say other than, no, there's really not much else to say. So at this point, we're going to close it out. We thank you guys for coming along on this adventure. We know this adventure was really tough for anybody who's been able to stick with it this far. We really appreciate it. And I think our next adventures are going to be a little bit happier. And we're going to enjoy some of the Cambodian people and food and just really show them some love because they deserve it. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications so that you can continue to follow along with us as we continue on this adventure.
And as always, squeeze the day and be well.